How can you help your team with continuous improvement so they can get to the next level of productivity faster and more effectively? I'm Matthew Hodgson, creator of Agile IQ, and today we're going to have a look at Agile IQ's Agile Coaching Assistant. So for this team, we've got self-organisation, agile values, continuous improvement and sprinting. You'll notice from our last assessment for this particular team, its sprinting is the lowest. And so this is where we're going to focus in order to take this team to the next level. So let's go to my goals. We can see here that the last time that this team set a goal was to achieve an agile values score of 63%. That was created last month in November, and when we did our last assessment in December, they achieved that goal. So let's do a new improvement. On the improvement screen, we can see that the lowest factor is sprinting, and the recommended area for focus for improvement is organisational agility. Let's set a new goal and then some actions associated with it. So if organisational agility is our area for focus, let's set organisational agility. We know the current score is 49%. Let's set a new goal of 60%. And given it's December, let's set a target for March next year, essentially a quarter, 3 months, to be able to achieve it. We'll press yes. So we've set our goal. Let's create the actions that are going to help us improve our organisational agility. So one area for focus is to retire legacy project roles. Given that Agile and Scrum are about product management, products and services, long-lived teams, retiring project governance in particular is an important part of empowering product owners with the responsibility, the true responsibility of managing their budget, managing the scope and the features of their products and services. So this is an area that I'm going to help this team focus on. We can also see here in the list, use EBM for product management. EBM stands for evidence-based management. Metrics for this team are a particularly weak point. If I click on more, Agile IQ takes us to an authoritative source to help us understand a little bit more about what does evidence-based management really mean. Evidence-based management starts with a question of value and understanding for our product. Are we investing time and money in areas that are currently being used by customers? Should I invest time and money of my Scrum team in creating new value, so that's unrealised value? Or is there some other aspect of agility, particularly internally focused for the Scrum team, around ability to innovate, which helps us with an improved ability to pivot to market change? Or what about time to market? The time it takes from when an initiative is conceived of by the product owner or stakeholders, what's the time to get from there to get to market? And this is a particularly important area for this team because these kinds of metrics are not yet collected. So this is an area that we're going to focus on. So I'll just go back and put yes, EBM is an area that we're going to focus on. Again, because we want to focus on value and understanding value, weighted shortest job first, cost of delay, those kinds of patterns for understanding and prioritising items for this team is another area that we're going to focus on. So I'll press tick. And these are the 3 areas. It's important that when you look at actions, that these now go into your sprint backlog, a team sprint backlog, and that they're planned along with the rest of the sprint. That the Scrum team asks themselves, how are we going to action these? What's our plan for improving this area? So there are our 3. We've got retiring legacy project roles, using evidence-based management, and using cost of delay and value-based metrics. And these are now going to go, as I said, into our sprint backlog. So let's return back to the dashboard. Once I return to the dashboard, you'll notice that our team dashboard now has each of these listed. And importantly, when you keep track of what's going on, if you feel that this particular activity has been met, that, for example, in this instance, when our project roles have now been retired and we don't have project-based roles anymore, we have product ownership and product management. When the team has developed a plan, they've enacted it, and this particular activity is now complete, we just click the checkbox and it shows us that now it's done, and there's a little symbol next to us to remind us. If you've got outstanding actions, every couple of weeks AgileIQ will give you an alert to come in and confirm that something's still active or whether something's actually done. Mark them all off. What I do with my teams is pretty much about once a month, come back and do a new assessment. And I would expect to see that if some of these things are still in progress or some of them have been done, that I'll probably see an improvement in this particular area of AgileIQ. If you want to know what that is, want to be reminded, just have to go to where the goals are, and it will tell me Agile values, that goal's been achieved, but organisational agility was where we want to focus. And if I tap on that, it'll then show me quite clearly these are the activities that I've added. If I want to add more, all I do is I check on plus, I can add some more things, or if I decide that actually that goal's too aggressive, I want to actually create something that's a little bit more aggressive, I can always edit the goal and I can always change it. Maybe I'll put it down to 50%. In putting it down to 50%, you'll notice it says the goal must be 5 points higher. It's currently 49, so probably I'll change that instead to 55 and press tick. There we go, so it's 5 points more. And then I can come back to the dashboard and you can see that those items that I'd put, they're still there. And I've got a great overview of what it is that I'm deciding to improve on. And that's Agile coaching for this team. It's important to come back and reassess your dashboard, assess your actions and your goals on a regular basis to understand from a metrics perspective, are we actually iterating towards our goals for improvement? Knowing that the more agile that we are, the faster our teams can pivot to change and the greater the cost savings that we'll be able to provide to the organisation, meaning that you'll be able to achieve more with less, or as Jeff Sutherland says, the ability to do twice as much in half the time. And with setting goals, setting targets and committing to improvement, you'll absolutely achieve these kinds of results. I'm Matthew Hodgson for AgileIQ. See you next time.